Yo guys, it's Satan here again, and we finally have Lohen coming into the game. And Lohen is actually a character that broke the internet. Second most likes in not Twitter on the West. People love his menacing expressions, and I've heard from several people already that he is their favorite character. What I'm gonna try to respond in this video is he worth your pulse? Let's get right into it. Let's talk first a bit about his power level. Overall, if you like Lohen, he has some really good teams. His best teams are almost at the level of the Lunar teams without Colombina, or around Skirk teams, which is around the 120k DPS, which is not bad by any means. However, one big thing that makes me maybe not being able to recommend it, and we will see this later, is the fact that all of his teammates are better in another team. And talking about teams, his best team is going to be by far the Durin Nicole Shidlali team, with Durin Dark mode acting as a DPS off-field. This is a team in the whole game where Durin is actually gonna feel the best to play and where you're really gonna notice that he is the one making the most damage. So for those of you who are Durin fans, congratulations to you. Another option for his teams would be to replace Shidlali for Sucrose. Sucrose can give the BB debuff to enemies, of Pyro for Durin and of Cryo for Lohen, and can even help with the Cryo application off-field. However, her off-field damage and her buffs are going to be lower in this team than Shidlali's, and it's also gonna make the rotation of the team a bit weird if you want to give the buff of TTDS to either Lohen or to Durin, plus at the same time giving the BB debuff. About free-to-play teams, the one that I like the most would be Xianglin and Sucrose, or you can also substitute Sucrose official because she deals more damage off-field. And these are the two last options because that way you will be able to activate Lohen's Hexerate passive. However, if this is going to be the team that you're going to be using, I'm already telling you, I'm not going to recommend you to go for Lohen. How about the weapons? Is his weapon good? It's very good. It's much better than the alternatives. So the second best option is the standard banner weapon, get Wing Spear. If you don't have it, the second best option is going to be to go for Deathmatch if you have it at high refinement. And as a free-to-play option, I guess you can go for White Tackle, but only go for it if you don't have any other thing to play with him, because this one is honestly pretty bad. However, Lohen is not a classic DPS in the sense that he will at most account for 50% of the DPS of his teams, since he really appreciates his off-field teammates to deal a lot of damage. This is why even though his weapon for his personal damage is about a 20% better than the alternatives, in reality it will only account for about a 10% increase of the team damage, which is not a lot if you compare it to other characters like Mabuika, like Skirk, which their weapons improve the team DPS about a 20%, and this is because they're a huge part of their team DPS. Okay, his dupes. Are his dupes good? They are absolute trash. No, for real. I really hope they put him soon in the Chronicle Wish event where you get dupes for free, because they really do look like standard banner dupes. Do not go for them. This is my recommendation. It is much better to go for his weapon, or, which would be my absolute recommendation, go for Nicole or Durin's dupes. If you only want to improve Lohen's teams, then go for Durin's dupes, since from C0 to C2, the team improves a whooping 43%, which is a lot, compared to a 14% from going from C0 to C2 of Lohen. Nicole at C2 improves at 35%, which is also a lot. It's slightly less than Durin, but Nicole, second dupe, is gonna be a huge improvement to your account, because she's gonna be able to be played in a freak ton of teams. So if you want to improve this team, go for Durin dupes. If you want to improve your account, go for Nicole dupes up to C2. How about the gameplay? From what I've seen and I have spoken with people that have been testing him a lot, it is actually a bit uncomfortable to get used to playing him. You have to constantly use charge attacks, something similar to what Hu Tao does, for example, in order to maximize the amount of cryo that he applies to the enemy, so the off-field support can melt as many hits as possible. He would be the modern version of what Tartaglia was back in the day with the national team, but instead of a driver for vaporizing, he would be a driver for melts. Okay, what about the banners? The banners are not completely trash, I guess. Banner is good. Xiangling is not what it used to be, but she's probably the best free-to-play option for Lohen as an off-field DPS, and I don't know what they were pretending you to do by putting Mika in here. So if you absolutely love Lohen and you're starting the game right now, I guess it's a good banner, but it would have been better to have Facial or Sucrose instead of Mika in here. The weapon banner, however, oh, this is interesting. The 4-star lineup is one of the absolute worst you can find in the game. The bow is trash, the sword is okay in Bennett, but Sapwood is usually better. The book is absolutely useless, the claymore is useless, and well, the spear is at least a bonus, which is the better one they can put in there, but 1 out of 5 is a terrible ratio. However, it comes with Mabuika's claymore, which, as I have said before, it is one of the better weapons in the game, being Mabuika an absolute monster and improving her by a lot. So I guess losing the 50-50 to this weapon is not the worst thing that can happen, and I'm going to link this with my conclusion. When should you pull for Lohen? Well, Lohen has a huge problem. His only good team is the Nicole, Durin, and Shidlali team, and you want to play Shidlali with Mabuika, and you want to play Lohen and Nicole with Barca, which are 2 of the 3 best teams in the game. Not only that, but in his best team, you can substitute him for Chongyun, and it's not gonna be even that much worse. You play Durin on field, applying Cryo with his charge attack, and it's not that huge of a difference. So it may even be a better option for you to put Chongyun in the team and save those gems and invest them in Durin's dupes. It's definitely gonna be stronger than the team with Lohen. And when would I go for Lohen? Well, only in these 2 situations. First, if you like him a lot, don't hear about what people is saying of he's bad. No, he's actually not. He is really strong. He has some really strong teams, and the character is actually cool as heck. I really wish he did not use the same teammates as some of the better DPSs in the game. And the second case in which I would go for him is if you have Shidlali but you do not have Mabuika, and you do have both Nicole and Durin, but you do not have, or you're not planning to go for Barca. In any other situation, I cannot unfortunately recommend to go for him if you care about having a strong account. If you care about this, go for Mabuik instead, which is on Binder 2, and she's an absolute monster and also has some much better free-to-play options than Lohen has, because that's one of his weak points too. His team is actually super expensive. Let me know if you're gonna pull for Lohen or if you're gonna give him a hard skip, because no matter how cool he is, if he's not strong, I know that a lot of people are gonna skip him. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.